Good morning, Kasturians. So, today we are here to discuss this topic mutual induction from your chapter electromagnetic induction. So, let us start. First of all, let us discuss what is mutual induction. It is the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in you can say in the second coil due to change of current in the you can say first coil or in the neighboring coil. As you can see here that this is coil number 1, this is second coil, and see there is change in current linked with this coil 1, and there due to change in current in coil 1, what is happening, there will be a rate of change of magnetic field linked with the coil 1. Okay, and due to that what will happen, there will be rate of change of magnetic flux, and this rate of change of magnetic flux will you can say this will be observed in the neighboring coil, which is coil number 2. Okay, so this is how we define mutual induction. Now let us try to find out coefficient of mutual induction. As we already know from the previous discussions that this rate of change of magnetic flux, or you can say the magnetic flux which is linked with the secondary coil, it is directly proportional to the current in the primary coil. Okay, so we can write it as this, that phi is directly proportional to I, and if we remove this proportionality sign, what do we get? We can put a constant here, that the constant that we have assumed here is m, so we have replaced proportionality sign with a constant. So now we can write this equation as you can see here, phi is equals to m into I. Okay, and now this proportionality constant m, it is called here the mutual inductance or the coefficient of mutual inductance. Okay, mutual inductance, you already know why we are calling it mutual inductance, because there now induction is linked with the two coils. Okay, as we have discussed. Now how we can write this, how we can write it as in the form of induced EMF. As we already know that from the previous discussions that this induced EMF, it is equals to minus m di by dt. Okay, so how this is equals to this, we already know that we have differentiated these equations. Okay, d phi by dt, and differentiated these equations with respect to time. So what we will get, d phi by dt, and here we will get m into di by dt, and what will be the value of d phi by dt, it will be minus e. Okay, so this is why we are having minus here, that is minus m di by dt on this side of the equation. Now let us discuss the next topic, next thing, that is, see we are as you can see from this figure, we are having what we are having, we are having two coils, that is one coil is having n number of n1 number of turns, and the second coil you can see in the blue color, this is coil n2, and this is having n2 number of turns. Okay, and the cross sectional area of the coil of both the coils is same, which is a, and the length of the coils is also same, we can consider the length of the coils as l. Okay, so now we can see we have considered the two long coaxial solenoids S1 and S2. Okay, and this soil S2, you can see this solenoid S2, it is wound over the solenoid S1. Okay, and we already have discussed L is length of the solenoid, R1, what are R1 and R2, they are radii of the coil, you can say the solenoid R1 and R2 respectively, and the area of the solenoid, you can say area of the first solenoid is, or you can say area of the solenoid S1 is, what will be that, pi into R1 square. Why? Because R1 is the radius of the solenoid 1, and N1 and N2, what are N1 and N2, N1 and N2 are the number of turns linked with the two coils, you can say N1 the coil number 1 and coil number 2 respectively. Okay, and what happens if we pass a time varying current. Okay, if a time varying current is passed through solenoid S2, what happens, the magnetic flux is set up inside coil S2. Okay, why? Because of this mutual inductance, if current is changing in the first coil, there will be some magnetic field, or you can say some magnetic field set up inside coil S2, and due to this magnetic field, what will happen, what will happen, there will be total magnetic flux linked with the coil S1 due to this coil. Okay, so now let us first of all find out the total magnetic field that is linked with the coil S2. As you can see the value of magnetic field linked with coil S2, it is B2 is equals to mu naught N to I2. Okay, this formula we already know from the previous discussions. So what are you can say what is the N2 here? N2 is number of turns per unit length. Okay, and we are talking about coil number 2. Okay, so we will be taking the number of turns of coil number 2 only. Okay, so what will be now the total magnetic flux linked with the coil? What will be the value of that? It will be phi 1 is equals to B2 A, that is cross sectional area, into number of turns associated with the first coil. So what will be that? The final value will be mu naught N2 N1 A into N1. Okay, so what will be the value of mutual inductance of coil 1 with respect to coil 2? What will be that? It will be that we can write the mutual inductance of coil 1 with respect to coil 2 as M12. And how we can write it further? We can write it as phi 1 divided by I2. And you can see the values further here. We can put the value of phi 1. What do we get? Mu naught N2 A into N1. And what do we get further? If we put the value of N2 also, N2 is small N2 is capital N 2 divided by length. So what do we get the value of M21, that is mutual inductance of coil 1 with respect to M2? We get mu naught N2 A N1 divided by L. Okay, now if we consider in the earlier case, what we have considered in the earlier case, that the magnetic flux linked was with solenoid S1. Now if we perform the same thing again, and now what we have to consider that the total magnetic flux is linked with the, you can say it is linked with the outer solenoid, or we can say S2. So the magnetic field that will be set up in the first coil, or we can say the primary coil, and the value of magnetic field will be mu naught N1 and L1. Why? Because we are talking about magnetic flux in the first coil. So number of turns of the first coil will be taken into account, and the length of the first coil. Okay, so now what will be the total? We already know what is small n1, that is number of turns per unit length of solenoid S1. So now what will be the total flux which will be linked to the outer solenoid S2? We can write it as phi 2 is equals to B1 A into N2. Okay, if we put the value of B1 from the above equation, what do we get? Mu naught N1 L1 A into N2. Okay, and after simplifying, what do we get? If first of all we put the value of N1 in this equation, what is N1? As you can see from here, small n1 is capital N1 divided by L, and you already know what does the respective terms means. Now we can simplify all these things, putting the value of small n1 in this equation. What do we get? We get the value of total magnetic flux linked with the outer solenoid S2. We get the value as mu naught N2 A N1 L1 divided by L. Okay, so now what will be the value of mutual inductance of coil second with respect to coil 1? You can see from here it will be phi 2 divided by I. So after putting the value of phi 2 from the above equation, what do we get? Mu naught N2 A N1 divided by I. So we can see from the previous from this M12, that is mutual inductance of coil 1 with respect to coil 2 is also having the same value, as you can see from the previous equation, that was this. You can see it is also having the value mu naught N1 N2 A divided by I. Okay, so we can write as M12 is equals to M12, mutual inductance linked with both the coils is same. So what will be the value of mutual inductance? As you can see, it will be mu naught N1 N2 A divided by I. Okay, so we can say that the mutual inductance of two coils, it is the property of their combination. Okay, and this property, it does not depend on which one of the function is taken as primary or secondary. It does not depend which coil we are treating as secondary and which coil we are treating as primary. Okay, so this was all about mutual induction. Okay, and see, there are some factors on which this mutual induction inductance depends. What are the factors? First of all, it depends on the number of turns. Okay, if we are having larger number of turns, so there will be larger mutual inductance linked with the with the coils. Okay, second thing is it depends upon the cross sectional area. See, if the cross sectional area is higher, so the mutual inductance will be higher, as you can see from this equation only. This equation, it depends on the number of coils, it depends on the area, that is cross sectional area. And what is the third thing? It depends upon the distance between the two solenoids. Okay, it also depends upon the distance between two solenoids. If the, you can say, the magnetic flux linked with the coil will be smaller, when it will be smaller, if the distance between the two solenoids is smaller. Okay, and hence what we will get in the final, we will be having the smaller value of mutual inductance. Okay, so that is all for today. Next we will be discussing in the next class. So thank you.